Close according to an annual World Wealth Report. Time: how do you stack up against the wealthiest Americans? To be a 1%er, you need to have an adjusted gross income of at least $480,930, according to the latest data from the IRS, which looked at income statistics for tax year 2015. The top 1% accounted for 1.4 million individual income tax returns, out of 141.2 million total, that year. If that income cutoff isn't disparaging enough to be part of the top 0.1%, which represented 141,205 returns in 2015, your adjusted gross income needed to be at least $2.2 million. Entry to the top 0.01%, representing 14,120 returns, required adjusted gross income of $11.9 million or more. The top 0.001% had adjusted gross income of at least $59.4 million that tax year. Just 1,412 returns came from those taxpayers. In comparison, the adjusted gross income for the top 50% of individual income tax returns was $39,275. Notes: AGI threshold is the minimum amount of adjusted gross income needed for inclusion in each percentile. Figure is based on all individual tax returns, excluding dependents. Photo source: IRS, CNBC. The top 50% accounted for 97.2% of the total income tax paid in tax year 2015. Note: figure is based on all individual income tax returns, excluding dependents. Photo source: IRS, CNBC. Meanwhile, the top 1% accounted for 39% of total income tax paid, while the top 0.1% represented 19.5%, the top 0.01% 8.7%, and the top 0.001% 3.5%. Note: figure is based on all individual income tax returns, excluding dependents. Photo source: IRS, CNBC. Those rosy figures reflect economic growth. Experts say, the basic story is, for the last 8 years or so we have been in a period of economic expansion, said Scott Greenberg, a former senior analyst at the Tax Foundation, a Washington-based think tank, and law school student. But adjusted gross income is limited in its ability to determine economy-wide trends, Greenberg cautioned. That is because other sources of income, such as interest from tax-exempt municipal bonds, are not included, he said. Tax data can be extremely useful for deciphering trends when it comes to high-income individuals, who can be more difficult to research in polls or surveys. Greenberg said, nothing is quite effective like the tax authority requiring them to report information about themselves every year, he said. Copyright CNBC is a USA Today content partner offering financial news and commentary. Its content is produced independently of USA Today. More from CNBC. $30 trillion is about to change hands in the U.S. What the 1% are teaching their children about money. International locations where you can retire for just $30,000 a year. Close. A new study in the journal Demography reveals that the gap between rich and poor graduates continues to grow wider, with only 11.8% of children born in the 1980s from poor backgrounds actually graduating. Buzz60. Read or share this story. https://usat.ly/2lbtg6a